Why is he so handsome? Why? This is a new CG. Good evening. This is the Lion of Legend, and welcome back to Okami. The game was recently updated, so we're gonna hop back in here and see exactly what's new in the latest version of the demo. Well, this is it, isn't it? I press my palm against the counter, feeling its very imperfection worn smooth by years of care. Every step in these halls, every creak in the floorboards, I have memorized them all. After tonight, none of it will belong to me anymore. Strange. I thought I'd feel sadder. I've spent a lifetime here, and now I'm too old to take care of it. A ryokan, a traditional Japanese inn, without its keeper, it's just an empty house waiting to be forgotten. How many times have I cleaned these counters and mopped these floors, greeting guests who came and went like fleeting whispers? I wondered if I would ever find someone to walk these halls with me, not just pass through them, someone who would wake up beside me every morning. But no one stayed. No one made an impression. I made my way toward the onsen, hot spring, my knees protesting with every step. I should have let myself enjoy my life more. A persistent thought haunted me, refusing to fade away, even in the quiet moments after the guests had departed. Did I live well? I spent my youth building this place, holding on to it with everything I had. And in the end, there's no one left to hold on to me. So, that's the real regret. Well, it's too late to dwell on it now. I brace a hand against the wall as I push myself upright. My back cracks, but I force myself to stand with a groan. But my foot slips. There's a moment of weightlessness, followed by a sharp crack as the back of my head meets the stone. Then, cold. Water rushes over me, pulling at my limbs. My fingers grasp for an anchor, but meet only emptiness. As the world blurs and my vision tilts, I catch a glimpse of steam swirling above, rising into a night sky that feels infinite and dark. Perhaps in another life. My head feels like someone's hosting a drum circle in there. I inhale, hoping to be greeted by the cozy scents of aged wood and warm sake. But instead, what is that smell? Salt, fragrant smoke, and sweet aroma of osmanthus. Instead of my dimly lit ryokan room, I see red, a bridge covered in mist. This isn't my ryokan. A sharp chill sinks into my spine. I died, didn't I? The Red Bridge of Souls. I've heard the stories. A place between, a crossing for lost souls. And here I am, on a bridge between a life already lived and whatever comes next. But why does everything sound so loud? I can hear whispers, low murmurs, the occasional laughter. Seriously, my ears are starting to ache. Wait. Ears? A creepy suspicion settles in. I lift my hands. Those aren't my hands, are they? My fingers are slender, Smooth, sharp nails, sharper than I remember. Claws? My breath catches. I stare at my arms, my legs. No more wrinkles, no more gnarled knuckles, no more aching bones. Instead, I am youthful, glowing, radiant. Oh my. My jaw drops. I pat down my arms, firm. I press a hand to my stomach, flat. I trail higher. No. No way! My hands fly to my chest. They're perky? By the spirits above, I have breasts again. Perky, full, no sag, no back pain. This is a miracle. These are the breasts of a woman in her prime, not a retired ryokan owner who needed at least 2 layers of fabric and a prayer to hold them up before. But before I can fully appreciate this cruel miracle, something moves behind me. No. I turn my head slowly. A tail. A red-furred tail sways behind me, wagging. Oh. My hands tremble even more, trying to make sense of everything. My skin, my tail, my lack of... Oh. I'm naked. I'm as bare as the day I was born, but with a tail, claws, and apparently some kind of breast enhancement. Oh no. A breeze rolls across the bridge. My entire, very exposed, freshly revived, nobody was supposed to see this body prickles. Stay calm, stay dignified. But of course, there is no dignity left to be had. I crouch down, wrapping my arms around my knees and curling my tail around myself like I'm trying to create a makeshift modesty shield. But I am not alone. I hear footsteps. No, more like claw steps, followed by rustling robes, and then something that sounds suspiciously like skittering. I do not turn to look. Absolutely not. I am not entertaining whatever fresh horror that was. A shadow looms behind me. A robed figure glides past, does a double take, then slowly backs away. Another one, sporting a long serpentine tail, grins at me, showing off a mouthful of sharp teeth. I pretend I didn't see it. Okay, breathe. Red Bridge, spirits, the rules of death. Then I am surrounded by spirits, possibly man-eating spirits. I will not be making eye contact with anything that looks like it might eat me. Deep breath, focus. I've handled rowdy nobles, drunken guests, and several matchmaking attempts. I can handle this. Alright, first things first, clothes. And then I figure out what in the world just happened to me. I push myself up, careful, composed, and... New arrival, huh? Cute tail. Followed by a burst of laughter. Oh, splendid. Public humiliation on day 1. Lovely. Alright, breathe. Pretend you're fine. My fingers twitch, and something deep inside me whispers, move low, stay quick, bare your teeth if you must. And for once, it doesn't sound like a bad idea. Come now, old girl. You've handled worse than this. I steel myself. Back straight, chin up. Oh no, too fast. Suddenly, gravity remembers I exist. The bridge vanishes, the lanterns blur, the night's air rushes past me like a betrayal. Not this again. Water. Again. But this time it feels different. I seem to be breathing underwater. An improvement from earlier, but also an insult. Didn't I already drown today? I feel like I should get a free pass on the second one. But before I can decide to stay here out of sheer stubbornness, the water stirs. A hand grabs me with a firm grip that says, Stop embarrassing yourself and get out of my river. Before I can properly swoon at the sheer commanding nature of it, I'm pulled upward. My head breaks the surface, and finally, I see him. Oh my. Now, I've seen many men in my life. Strong men, handsome men, men who paid extra for the private onsen package. But this one? He is something else, entirely. White hair slicked against sharp, sculpted features. Mask covering a tall, broad figure clad in heavy robes, looking every bit like an ancient spirit who has been reluctantly saddled with the bodyguard duty. His breath is steady, but I see the exhaustion in his stance. He looks like an old war banner, torn, faded, but still standing out of sheer spite. Which is still terribly attractive, by the way. And then, I feel warmth. His outer kimono, draped over my shoulders, his hand lingering just long enough to ensure it stays. My. It's been quite some time since I was last embraced by a handsome young man, and with such grave solemnity too. You alright? So, this is when we're going to start saving, so we have our choices. We will thank him. I'm fine, thank you. How fortunate that you were here. I place a hand over my chest. He watches me, unreadable behind his mask, before nodding slightly. Can you walk? More than I ever have before, actually. He slowly extends his hand. Come, I will help you cross. Well, since you're insisting. I take his hand. This man's grip is steady, warm, with a quiet kind of carefulness. And together, we walk. This is a dream, isn't it? Does it feel like one? I hum, observing him as if he were an interesting specimen. Well, wow. I can tell he's beautifully exhausted beneath that mask. I don't know. You're rather intriguing for a dream. His grip on my wrist tightens slightly. That got a reaction. Because it is not a dream. Well, I suppose if I had to fall into anyone's arms, yours aren't the worst. He doesn't respond, but gently nudges his head forward. You should stand soon, before the cold sets in. Straight back to business then, of course. You are a yokai now. The words hit me like a ladle of cold miso down the back. I thought as much, but hearing it said aloud. So this is real then. Well, Akine, you have two choices. Fall into an existential crisis, or flirt your way through it. Well, we'll say, how scandalous. I blink up at him, pretending to be all innocent. Oh my, how scandalous. Am I a pretty one? You are an Okami, a great wolf deity. You're not answering my question, dear. I notice his shoulders tense up a bit. His fingers flex like he's deciding between enfolding his arms or saying something. I grin. My tail swishes behind me, matching my glee. He lets out a tiny grunt and turns his head like that'll end this conversation. We should keep moving. Oh, he is fun. All right. So it's true then. I died with unfinished business and came back all supernatural. Humans do not become yokai without cause. Let me guess. Strong emotions, right? The classic cocktail, all in one, desire, longing, and a splash of regret. They always say intense feelings linger after death, and I was practically soaked in it. You understand, then. I curl my fingers into the fabric of the kimono around me, grounding myself. It's real, heavy, like the weight of everything I couldn't let go. I didn't want to die alone. That was my final thought. For a moment, only the river answers me. It was powerful enough. Huh, all that yearning, and I end up half drowned in a clingy kimono with a ruggedly handsome masked man. I'd call it a tragedy, but the shoulders are compensation enough. Or simply enough to refuse fading quietly. Not a denial, nor an answer either, but close enough. I spent my entire life running a ryokan, only to die and become a yokai. Some might call that a bit on the nose. Oh well, alright then. What now? You decide that. A remarkably casual response for something that should be an important revelation. As simple as that. Yes, after all, even as a yokai, it's still your life. Ah, so it comes with free will. Excellent. I was hoping this wouldn't be one of those ominous bound to an ancient curse situations. There's the faintest smirk tugging at the corner of his mouth. Disappointed. Devastated. I look past him, at the mist-covered bridge ahead. And where exactly were you heading before I made my graceful descent into the river? Home. Home, And where might that be? There. He lifts his chin slightly, and as if on cue, the mist moves to reveal a structure at the end of the bridge. Is that a ryokan? Yes. A ryokan in the spirit world. Indeed. And you live there? Yes. I cross my arms, sizing him up. He's as unreadable as ever, but something about his tone is humoring me. With rooms? Yes. And is one of those rooms just so happens to be empty? He shifts ever so slightly, realizing that he has walked straight into whatever trap I have set. Perhaps. Oh dear, very fortunate for me. His arms cross over his chest, and for a second, I swear he's fighting back the urge to smirk. And you intend to claim it, just like that. Well, I did just die and come back as a yokai. I feel like that entitles me to at least one complimentary perk. One. For now. I tap my chin, pretending to think. Tell you what, I'll earn it. Let me help out at your inn. Sweep a few hallways, clean the guest rooms, and look breathtaking while doing it. It'll be a fair trade. There is a beat of silence. Then, I have made a mistake. Wonderful! I'll take it. A long, slow exhale escapes him, and for a moment, I think he might just walk right back into the river to escape this. Instead, without another word, he simply turns on his heel and continues walking. I follow him with a grin on my face. The ryokan looms ahead, and I can see the wooden panels softened by time and lanterns hanging limp from the eaves. It isn't in ruin, but it looks like it wouldn't mind the excuse to be. This is not quite what I pictured. Not exactly welcome weary traveler, enjoy your stay, is it? No. I give him a sidelong glance. He says nothing, but his pace is steady. This isn't how it used to be, is it? It was. A neat little deflection, but I have lived long enough to recognize it. Ah, I see. So you expect me to believe this place was always this charming? I can practically hear the unspoken sigh before it leaves him. You are not going to let this go, are you? Not a chance. Wait, is that amusement I detect? And then at last we step inside. Oh, not the good kind of oh. More like the, oh dear, what have I stumbled into? When you open a drawer and find a rotten snack that could double as an exorcism result. It's worse than I thought. A ryokan should be warm and inviting, but this place feels like it's waiting for someone to tell it it's over. This is a disaster. Yes. Wow. Just like that? No attempt to sugarcoat it? Would you believe me if I tried? Fair point. What happened here? I lost the power to run it. You say that like you misplaced it under a cushion. Would have been easier if I had. Oh? Interesting. And how long has it been like this? Very long. That, at least, I believe. I should just walk away. This is not my problem, nor my responsibility. But still, I know this feeling. I've lived this feeling. I know what this is like. You're far too tired of keeping this place, but you know it will die with you if you don't hold it together. His hands are unmoving, but his shoulders tremble, betraying him. Looks like I hit a nerve. Have you changed your mind, then, about staying here? I blink. That wasn't what I planned to say, but looking at this place, I can't see an inn like this and walk away. Not when it still has bones strong enough to stand. No, I haven't changed my mind. I'm not just going to help out. I'm going to help you revitalize it. Because deep down, even after death, I'm still an Okami. Still someone who believes an inn like this deserves life. Help? Yes. Surely you haven't been left to your devices for so long that you've forgotten what that means. I am aware of the concept, but I don't need it. Oh, I'm sure you don't, but that doesn't mean you should turn it down. People offer help, then they leave midway, or make it worse. So don't think of it as help then. Think of it as professional meddling. Persistent. And you're stubborn. He exhales slowly, as though bracing himself. And what do you gain from this? A place to stay, obviously. You want to stay with me, even though we just met. He sounds more amused than betrayed. Yes, well, technically I just died, so I think I'm entitled to make a few impulsive decisions. Besides, it's either your creepy ryokan or wandering around until something with detachable jaws decides I look crunchy. And my gut says you're not the type to take advantage of a woman. I tilt my head slightly, watching for a twitch or any sign of protesting. Nothing, just calm, tired silence. Besides, you need help, and I need purpose. Let's not complicate a mutually beneficial arrangement. And you assume you can do better in keeping this place than me. I know I can do better. His ears prick up, as if I've genuinely surprised him. You claim experience, then. Dear, I used to walk barefoot through corridors, balancing ledgers, calming guests, and yelling at staff, all before breakfast. I let the silence hang, watching him piece it together. Then tell me, Okami-sama, what would you do to improve it? For starters, get rid of the cobwebs before they start charging rent. There's dust on every surface. The lanterns are so dim I thought we were holding an exorcism. And I'm pretty sure I felt something evil whispering in that cupboard. I motioned toward the dust-covered reception table next. This looks alarmingly shoddy. Guests should feel welcomed, not like they're auditioning for a background role in a ghost story. I glanced toward the empty seating area, where the chairs look rather dusty and unkempt. My ears lower instinctively. The sight tugs at a quiet ache in my chest. This place was meant to be lively, and now it just sags. Back in my ryokan? Oh, what a time that was. The lanterns always glowed warmly, the sake never stopped flowing, and I knew the name of every guest who ever dared to flirt with me. I may have been alone behind the curtains, but the halls never were. Laughter, footsteps, whispers in the night, sometimes scandalous, sometimes not. It was home, noisy and beautiful and alive. While this is a shrine to silence. This old place is a tragedy. And you believe you can fix this. I know I can fix this. Arrogant. If you are as skilled as you claim. Yes, if. But you're welcome to test me. He studies me for a long moment, and I catch the precise moment he realizes he's going to lose this argument. Fine, but don't blame me when you fail. Ah, there's the answer I was hoping for. You will work here then. Naturally. And you will follow my rules. Define follow. The man just turns on his heel, expecting me to follow. This is going to be entertaining. Well then, now that you've sort of accepted my offer, I suppose I should at least know who my boss is. Shimon. And who exactly are you, Shimon? I am one of the 4 mythical beasts. He answers with the casual indifference of someone commenting on the weather. I beg your pardon. The azure dragon, the vermilion bird, the white tiger, the black tortoise. I am the white tiger. As in, the white tiger? The very same. Slowly, I let my gaze travel up and down, actually looking at him. This frail, wilting daikon radish of a man is the legendary Byakko? Huh. He watches me with quiet amusement. This man definitely knows what I'm thinking. And how, pray tell, does one of the 4 mythical beasts end up like this? That is not important. I think it's very important. You are free to think so. I exhale sharply through my nose. Fine, I'll let it go. For now. Fine. Let's start over then. I am Akine, former Okami of Ryokan Tsukikage in the human world. I ran my ryokan for decades. I know how to handle guests, manage staff, and maintain order. Do you now? A challenge? Oh, delightful. Dear, I once managed a summer festival, 3 weddings, and a pipe burst all in one day. While wearing a kimono with a busted hem, I practically breathed hospitality. I kept that place running on time, under budget, and with guests so happy they left gifts. Shimon doesn't answer, before shaking his head sarcastically. Bold words for a wolf who drowned in a river. Excuse me? I was not the one who was fished out like a wet, shivering pup. I was just testing the current. How fortunate, then, that I arrived before your test reached its conclusion. Fine, he won this round. Welcome, then, to your new home. Well then, boss, shouldn't you be showing me around? Surely you have some idea of what I'm supposed to be doing. Perhaps. He moves with the grace of someone who refuses to acknowledge his own exhaustion. Naturally, I match his pace. If I wanted, I could glide ahead effortlessly. But there's something entertaining about watching him pretend he's not running over sheer willpower alone. Just as I'm considering how long he'll keep up the act, I catch sight of my reflection in a dusty mirror. Right. I'm still wearing his robe. It's scandalously slipping off one shoulder, draping around me in a way that could either be elegant or suggestive, depending on the lighting. My, and here I am, strolling through your home in nothing but your clothing. What would the spirits say? Shimon stops mid-step and turns to me. You require proper clothing. Do I? I think this look has a certain charm. A bit daring, quite refined, actually. Stay here. Such a commanding tone. He doesn't dignify me with a response, rude, and disappears down a hall, leaving me alone. I take the opportunity to glance around. What was this place like before, when it was alive? And why does he seem so reluctant to talk about it? Before I can dig too deeply into my own curiosity, Shimon returns, carrying a neatly folded kimono. The moment my fingers brush the fabric, I notice something immediately. It's well kept. There is a faint lingering scent, soft, floral, and distinctly not his. A woman's scent. Whose kimono is this? We will thank him for now. Thank you. I say it gently, accepting the kimono with both hands. The teasing lilt in my voice fades, just a touch. I could ask. I want to ask. The scent clings like memory. Someone cared for this, or was cared for, but we've only just met, haven't we? But perhaps some stories aren't meant to be touched with curious fingers right away. The fabric brushes against my skin, and nostalgia washes over me. I wore a kimono like this once, long ago, on the night my heart first cracked open. He said he couldn't stay, said the inn was too quiet in the winter. And yet he had no trouble keeping warm in someone else's arms the following spring. I remember watching his back as he walked away, snow in my sleeves, sake in my blood, and pride in my spine. I smiled, waved, bowed like a good hostess, and cried into the dishwasher after midnight. Ah, youth. So dramatic, so hydrated. But it's long past now. I'll take good care of it. He doesn't answer, but the brief flicker in his gaze tells me he heard me. Change, quickly. There is still much to see. I decide not to push further. Not now. This hallway leads to the guest rooms. How many are there? More than enough, but they are unused. Don't worry, boss. I have plenty of ideas to bring life back to this place. I will reserve judgment. He strides ahead before I can retort. There's something familiar in this. Not the walls, but the rhythm. Walking the halls, checking rooms, holding it all together. I did this. For decades. I watch him just ahead, shoulders heavy in a way that I remember too well. Was he always this quiet? Or did the ryokan take his voice like it tried to take mine? This is one of the guest rooms. Oh? He slides the shoji door open with a smooth motion, revealing the room inside. I hope no one died in this room. None. Yet. His voice is as dry as the air in here. Seems like the evil spirits are the only ones staying here. This needs to change. I swish my tail, stepping further inside. A little warmth, a little charm, a lot of exorcism and scrubbing, and this place could be something special. I simply cannot wait. Alright, first order of business. Who's cleaning all this? That would be you. My dear, you really think I'd fall for that? You are the Okami now. Yes, and a proper Okami delegates. Speaking of, where are all the staff? Surely you weren't running this place alone. No, there were others. Were? A soldier spirit who cooked, a broom that never stopped sweeping, a lazy river dweller who barely did anything unless bribed. When my strength faded, they withdrew. Yokai bound to a place need energy to remain. Without it, they slumber or disappear. So they've been asleep this whole time. Perhaps. Or waiting. I can no longer tell the difference. He says it like it doesn't hurt, but something in his voice tells me it does. Ugh. His weight shifts. Something is off. Boss? His posture wavers, his balance falters, and before I know it, he collapses. Shimon! I move without thinking, catching him before he fully crumbles to the floor. He's lighter than I expected. Surprisingly so. For someone built like a tragic mountain god, I thought I'd need divine intervention, or at least a sturdy wheelbarrow. Oh no. Look who still has upper body strength. You overdid it, didn't you? Silence. I sigh, pressing my fingers lightly to his wrist, checking the pulse beneath his skin. Wait, do yokais even have a pulse? I'm alive. I smooth a stray lock of white hair away from his mask, brushing it carefully behind his ear. You really don't take care of yourself, huh? It looks like he might respond, but in the end, he doesn't. Lucky for you, dear. You've just hired the best Okami there is. He groans softly. I take that as acceptance. Now, where's your room? Unnecessary. Ah, so he's one of those. The quiet, brooding types who wear their past like a second mask and dare you to ask what's underneath. Let me guess. You think you can sleep anywhere, don't you? Yes. No, absolutely not. If I let you, you'll curl up in some drafty hallway and waste away in your sleep. A proper ryokan master must have a proper room. He exhales, aggressively. The nerve. Look, you can fight me on this, or you can just tell me where it is, and I'll let you sleep in peace. Your choice. End of the hall. Alright, boss. Up we go. Shimon's room is unsurprising. It's organized, spotless even. But it is also the most lifeless space I have ever stepped into. This is the room of a man who has decided to live his life as an aesthetic exercise in suffering. I shift my grip again, still surprised I'm carrying him at all, to be honest, and lower him carefully onto the futon. The second he touched the mattress, his body fully gave in to the exhaustion. You know, most people keep something in their room. A trinket, a book, maybe. Like anything that suggests they have feelings. Silence. Which is expected, but still. We will help change his clothes. Shimon is drenched in sweat. Without thinking, I reach for the collar of his robe, loosening the fabric slightly to help him breathe. My fingers brush the warm skin of his chest. It's searing. His skin radiates an intense amount of heat. Oh, Kami-sama. He's burning up. And yet, when I touch him, I'm the one holding my breath. His hand switches as he gestures toward the wooden chest in the corner. Ah, so he's aware, and very much letting this happen. Your clothes are in there? He gives the smallest nod, head tilting, observing me. I move to the chest, slide it open. Inside, a stack of folded robes, identical in design. I grab one from the top and return. All right, let's get you out of this, boss. No funny business. I'm doing this as a professional, a responsible adult. I kneel beside him, fingers brushing his shoulder as I pull the outer robe down slowly. The damp fabric clings before giving way. My palm accidentally grazes the curve of his back. Shimon inhales sharply. A tremor runs through his arm. Hold still, all right? Shimon exhales slowly now, then speaks with a low tone. You're very thorough, Okami-sama. My fingers freeze just below his collarbone. My heart does something rather scandalous. This man is trembling, but he still has the gall to tease me like this. I swallowed the urge to retort. There, that's better. You'll be back to grumbling at me in no time. I trace my thumb carefully along the edge of his sleeve, a light, pointless touch. I convince myself it's to adjust the fold. We both know it isn't. Sleep well, Shimon. Now that that's settled, he really was planning to shoulder all this alone, wasn't he? How long has he been carrying this weight? There's no staff to help out in this broken place, and this man is too stubborn to ask for help. But I've always had a soft spot for beautiful things in need of repair. And you, White Tiger, are long overdue for someone to take care of you for once. I will drag this place back to life, and maybe you along with it. Alright, this place is a mess. Let's fix that. Alright. Eyes sharp. Dust, cobwebs, gunk. Whatever doesn't belong, it's getting evicted. Alright, so this is a minigame here where we are going to clean this place up. This is still a ryokan, gosh darn it, and it will start acting like one. Let's keep finding and clearing every nook and cranny. The more I clean, the lighter the air will feel. And who knows, I might dig up a few little secrets the boss forgot to dust over while I'm at it. In every area, there are 3 objects that can give you information about Shimon's past and the history of the ryokan. Find them before the area is cleaned to unlock a secret scene at the end of each chapter. That's new. Alright, so we're going to go... Let's go to the guest room. So we gotta find 3 objects. I'm gonna assume this tiger here. This figurine looks handmade. Crude shape, but with love in every dent. It's a tiger, like the Byakko. Shimon kept it, so either he's sentimental or really bad at spring cleaning. Okay, so what's this here? Ah, of course, because sleep paralysis wasn't terrifying enough already. Imagine sleeping here and a face peeks from behind the glass like a clingy past lover. Alright, I went back because I think I was skipping the dialogue on accident, so let's see here. This letter's been hidden and folded so many times before. I read the sentence, "Dear Shimon," and immediately closed it again. I don't think it's my place to snoop around. Serene mind like still water. A mind unruffled by events and the stresses of life. Is that what the writer strived for? This figurine looks handmade. Crude shape, but with love in every dent. It's a tiger, like the Byakko. Shimon kept it, so either he's sentimental or really bad at spring cleaning. Yeah, who wants to sleep with this cobweb? Let's get that out of here. So we got our 3 items, so now we can move along and find everything else. If anything lunges out of this closet, I swear I'm setting it on fire with sake. I hope this isn't a guest's leftovers. That would be very awkward to clean. I'm not touching it with my bare hands to make sure. I realized that I've been using one of my side buttons on my mouse to click, and it seems that when I use it here, I click too fast. So I skipped the dialogue of these 3 items to the right earlier, and then I just tested it again and I skipped the dialogue of the cobweb. So that's what happened there. So we're going to just normally left click for the rest of this time. Of course, because sleep paralysis wasn't terrifying enough already. A beautiful view like this, ruined by spiders with no sense of hospitality. Blasphemous. Imagine sleeping here and a face peeks from behind the glass like a clingy past lover. I hope Shimon doesn't keep a literal corpse in here instead of figuratively. Alright, that's cleaned up. Alright, so let's see if we can find those 3 items. What stands out here? A little lights would be nice. Preferably the non-ominous kind. That's not it. What about this? Even though the writing has faded, he still keeps it here. This wooden plaque is important to him. You know, if you're going to lurk inside the cupboard, at least offer to help dust. Okay, okay, we got something. Still trying to find special. What about this? Packed but never used. Or maybe whoever had this left in such a hurry that it was forgotten. I wonder why Shimon never bothered moving it. A torn scroll. Either someone left in a hurry and accidentally ripped it, or there was a fight, and this was the aftermath. Guests should be signing in, not having a sneezing fit. Let's clean this guest book. But look at this handwriting. Very sophisticated, very intricate. I think whoever wrote this was probably the type who labeled all the storage jars and rearranged the towels when bored. Alright, now we can clean the rest of this place up. That can go away. Footsteps. Get rid of that. Of course, there's dried blood on the floor, because this place wasn't creepy enough already. Get that spirit out of here. Cobwebs. Right above the guest book. That's just rude. No one wants to sign in under a spider ambush. That's right, Akine. Let's get rid of that. The yellow stuff in the window? I think the windows are the only ones dazzling in this ryokan, thanks to these suspicious yellow stains. Let's get that up. Alright. Ah, yes. A cobweb to the face. More haunted manor than ryokan, really. The poor plant is trying its best, so the creepy crawlies have to go. Alright, and let's go to the Red Bridge. Alright, what stands out here? I see the evil spirits all over the place, but what's this? A charm tied with careful knots. I don't think it's a mere decoration. I wonder if Shimon's strength had already waned back then. What else stands out? Like this little cloth here? Well, well, This little embroidery has hand-stitched initials in the white letter M. No guest takes the time to embroider a napkin just for fun. Let's see, what else stands out? This? An Ofuda. Whoever the writer was, they prayed for Byakko, not to Byakko. Alright, let's clean this up, Akine. Absolutely not. I refuse to be dragged underwater by those hands. Agreed, we do not need that to happen to you. Oh, wonderful. Whispering from the trees, probably eavesdropping spirits. Murky water, murky history, murky everything. Honestly, boss, what were you doing out here all those years? Well, that's either caused by a swamp gas or a creature lurking underneath the water. I don't want to deal with either. Agreed. Glowing eyes watching me from the mist. Lovely. Exactly the atmosphere I wanted for a cozy ryokan. We got a little more, Akine. Nature is reclaiming this place. I suppose I should reclaim it. Off with you, vines. Alright, and we've got one more to go. Let's see. Here we are. Don't think about what caused it, just scrub it clean. Area cleaned. I step back, surveying my work with no small amount of satisfaction. The dust? Gone. The cobwebs? Vanquished. The evil spirits are probably migrating somewhere else. Then I hear footsteps behind me. I turn just as Shimon enters, and... oh? No. Why is he so handsome? Why? This is a new CG. Oh, man. Oof. Oh, boy. I feel you, Akine. Why does he look like that after barely a nap? His skin has color again, his shoulders look broader, his jawline is more defined, and I bet I can use it to slice mochi. Can sleeping for a little bit change his appearance so drastically? Is that even allowed? My gaze absolutely betrays me, and of course he notices. Ahem. I clear my throat so hard I might have dislodged my spine, and immediately throw my hands toward the freshly cleaned lobby. Well, look who's up and walking. What do you think? It is acceptable. Oh, I'm sorry, did I mishear? Because it sounded like you just undersold my miracle work. Everything is still standing. That is an improvement. I gasp, hand to my chest like he just struck me with a mortal wound. Everything is still standing? After all I've done, this is the level of praise I get? Would you prefer a ceremony? A festival in your honor? A small compliment wouldn't hurt. I will see if the spirits can play instruments. Did he just joke back? Did my ears trick me? Admit it, you're impressed. You did well. Wait. Say it again. No. Just once more, please, so I can cherish your compliment. I will say only this. It is nice to walk through a place that does not resemble an evil spirit's final resting place. Aha! Victory. I fold my arms triumphantly, while he... well, I can't tell what his expression is under that mask, but I know that he approves. Perhaps it is time. Time? To reopen. start gathering power again. Then let's do it! I stepped forward, tilting my head, watching him closely. I'll make this ryokan shine again, boss. Just you watch. We will see. No, we will succeed. And this time, he doesn't argue. The ryokan creaks as if exhaling for the first time in years. The dust may have settled, but the real chaos, it's only just beginning. This wasn't in the schedule. I said, let's have tea near the bridge and watch the river, not let's accidentally dig up your entire emotional history, boss. But here we are, right before the inn is about to open its doors again. Figured we could both use a moment to breathe before someone inevitably demands a refund since we are understaffed. So I set the cups down, steal a glance at him, and say, tea? Shimon sits across from me as I pour the tea. Tell me something, boss. Have you ever shared tea with someone as alluring as I am? I would rather not answer. You'd get cocky. Oh, he thinks he's clever tonight. Careful. Say one more charming thing, and I might start thinking this is a date. It is tea. He sips, unbothered, while I sip louder and very bothered. You're lucky I find deadpan charm appealing. I used to sit like this with someone many years ago. He had lovely hands and terrible timing. He left. Said life at the ryokan wasn't romantic enough. Shame. I looked very good in an apron. What about you? Surely even white tigers have a romantic phase. He sets his cup down, then pauses. Come on, boss. Give me something. There was someone. Now we're getting somewhere. Someone, That's all I get? You did not offer a name either. Fair, but mine didn't leave behind some fancy handmade gifts like calligraphy or a tiger figurine. It seems like that one got a reaction. You've been snooping, it seems. I manage an inn, so I don't snoop, dear. I uncover. What was she like? She liked quiet places. Then she would have hated me. She would. But I wouldn't. My. Dangerous choice of words. That was quite a bold statement, boss. Interpret it however you wish. But you deflected from my original question. Of course, I didn't mean to pry, boss. I'm above that. But I was just wondering if I should be jealous of a ghost with good taste. Jealousy would be pointless. So is resisting me, and yet here we are. We finish our tea in silence. Well then, that's enough honesty for one cup. Agreed. Let him keep his secrets. For now. Okay, so we have more dialogue to find, so I'm gonna go back and get that done. Okay, so we're just gonna start flirting immediately. Oh my, I am fine. Thank you so much for asking. And now that I'm up close, I let my gaze wander to the strands of white hair clinging to his skin, his mask gleaming subtly, and an expression I cannot see. You look absolutely dashing. He responds with a long, heavy silence, perhaps the longest in the world. I savor it. Can you walk? Oh, quite well, actually. Gracefully, even. Would you like a demonstration? I wink, but his shoulders tense as a response. He does not like that answer. Good. I will be saying worse things before the night is over. Finally, bracing himself, he extends his hand. Come, I will help you cross. Is that an offer? I glance at the bridge, the treacherous thing that abandoned me not once, but twice. Well, since you're insisting. I take his hand. He stiffens, but his grip is strong. I file this reaction away for future entertainment. And together, we walk. Okay, now let's go ahead. Okay, so last time he said scandalous, now we're gonna say how odd. I blink up at him, deep in thought. How odd. I didn't know that turning into a yokai means getting a makeover. His exhale is quiet and contemplative this time. Like I said, you are a yokai now, an Okami, a great wolf deity. Huh, that explains the tail then. I flex my fingers, turning them over, noticing the sharpness of my nails. My tail wags behind me as if it's testing the weight of my words. Or maybe I'm just happy to see the man in front of me. Fascinating. Most new arrivals take this less well. There's a hint of curiosity in his voice, as if he's waiting to see if the delayed panic will settle in. Well, I was an old woman minutes ago, and now you are not. Are you certain I wasn't just gifted with an incredible youth elixir and a terrible dramatic fur accessory when I came here? This time, he pauses, as if he's trying to process my ridiculousness. Yes. Pity. That would have made an excellent onsen spa package. He has no answer to that. Alright. So if it's true, then... Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead. Alright, so this time we're going to ask about the kimono. Oh, boss? Whose kimono did you just give me? He recoils slightly, as if I just hit a nerve. It was the only one left available. Was it? Nothing but silence. Curious. The fabric is elegant and preserved with care, not the kind of thing a man like him would keep out of convenience. Funny thing, though, a forgotten garment wouldn't be this well kept. Are you going to change, or do you prefer to stand here and test my patience? Oh, I love testing patience. But you already knew that. Ha. That's not a disagreement. Well, whoever this kimono belonged to, they mattered. A lover, perhaps. Thank you. Alright, so now we're going to take off his mask, which is, not the good move. He needs to be able to breathe properly. I reach out, fingers barely grazing the edge of his mask. But then, his hands move faster than I expect. A single swat to my wrist, enough to send a clear message. No! His breathing is heavy, but he's willing himself to stay alert now. Leave. I draw my hand back slowly, exhaling through my nose. Fine. I step back, watching as he settles into the futon, his body tense even as exhaustion pulls him under. Whatever that mask hides, he's not ready to let it go. Now that that's settled... Alright, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going into this minigame again, but I am not going to get the 3 objects in each area, just to see what the difference is after we get through everything. And then we'll be back. Alright, that was Okami, the latest update to the demo. So of course, if you go through the minigame without finding those 3 items in each of the rooms, you do not get the cutscene at the end where Shimon and Akine are talking about their previous lovers. That being said though, I do feel like this is not the last time that we're going to hear about Shimon's previous lover. I feel like there's a bit of important information there that we don't know. I don't know if the kimono that he gives to Akine is his previous lover's. I guess we'll find out. It's a mystery. A mystery that I am excited to unravel. I definitely like seeing the new artwork presented in this update. Shimon was definitely looking very hydrated, if you will. And of course, my girl Akine was gorgeous as ever. Additionally, I did like the additions made to the minigames with the extra information if you could find those items that were tied to Shimon. I think that's unique because I like it when games have this way of like you go through the main story and there's also like a way to execute lore, if you will, and having that additional background information on Shimon and the ryokan just made the minigames more exciting, if you will, and made it more interesting to really navigate through. Especially, well, for me, of course, I played the demo before this one, so that was new for me, so that was great. Obviously, I'm pretty invested in this, as in both this demo and the previous build, I tried to find as much dialogue as I possibly could, because ultimately, I'm invested in the story, I'm invested in the characters, and honestly, everything about it is attractive. I like the personality of both Shimon and Akine. I'm very much looking forward to other characters that are produced in this story. I love the music. I think the artwork is beautiful. And there's also more mystery that I want to understand. So as we start getting more guests, what does that really look like in terms of power coming back to Shimon and how that affects the ryokan, and what kind of guests are we going to be introduced to? The other individuals that Shimon mentioned earlier, like the broom that kept sweeping and the other characters that he mentioned, are those going to come back? I don't know. There's like, in this spirit realm, it's like, who knows what's going to happen? Who knows who could show up? So there's a lot to leave to imagination here while we're waiting for the game to be fully released. To the devs, good work again. And I also appreciate the promotions that you're giving, just giving us like little teasers every now and then about this game, and also how you're interacting with other creators out there who are playing your game. I'm sure that I speak for everyone to say that we really do appreciate it, me included. That being said, I will be looking out for any further updates to this demo, and also, obviously, the full game once it is finished. And I'll hop right back in here with Akine and Shimon. That all being said, if you did enjoy this video, go ahead and leave it a like, leave a comment, share the video, perhaps even subscribe to the channel. And I will see you all in the next video. So have a good night.